Good evening, vinyl community. Hi, it's Rob back for yet another vinyl catch-up video. Yes, they're coming thick and fast. So yeah, I hope you're all doing really well. We're nearly at the weekend. Yes, freedom weekend. We love it. So yeah, I've actually had a bit of freedom this afternoon. I booked half the day off because by God, I needed it. And went and purchased a new watch, which is something that I haven't indulged in for a very long time, and had a nice coffee in Solihull, and it was a very, very nice afternoon. Lovely weather that we're having. Starting to cloud up a little bit now, but it's still fine and quite warm. So yeah, very welcome mid-September weather here in the UK. So okay, so yeah, I'm still on a quest to catch up on all my vinyl purchases over the last sort of 6 to 8 weeks or so, and yeah, I'm going to continue now and show you what I've got. I think there's about 10 here, something like that. So I'm slowly getting through it. So bear with me. There might be another couple of videos to come yet, but anyway, so kicking off, lovely reissue here from Roy Harper. This is Science Friction Records reissue of The Sophisticated Beggar, which is of course Roy's debut album. So this was originally released in 1966 and was a single sleeve, but a lot of these science fiction releases from 2019 are a really, really nice packaging. So you've got a new essay and write up there on the gatefold from Roy, written in 2019, just giving you a bit of context to how this kind of genesis of this album, how this came around, and his beginnings at Les Cousins Folk Club in London, where of course so many luminaries and his contemporaries started off. So yeah, really worth getting. Comes in a nice lyrics sheet there with the full lyrics and some pictures from the time of a young Roy there. Smoking a joint. Oh my God. There you go. They didn't come in a polyline sleeve, so I did put in a one of these, what are they called? Not MoFi sleeve, but they're kind of shaped, so they're like half moon shaped at the end, so that you can actually put them inside the cardboard inners, which is quite convenient, so that you sort of, you're not, just makes them easy to get in and out the sleeve. So yeah, lovely, obviously reproduction of the original artwork as well, which I was missing on my copy because I had the later reissue, which was called Return of the Sophisticated Beggar, that came out in 1973 with a completely different cover. Exactly the same album. The only difference is that they stuck a track on the end of side 2 called Hub Hub, which is basically like a run-out groove similar to Sgt. Pepper, where it will just go up, 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 etc., etc. You hear it once, and that's kind of enough. More than that, it's just, yeah, you just want to take it off. So, but there you go. So yeah, very pleased to get that, and yeah, recommend anybody who's not who was thinking of getting into Roy Harper, good time to do it, because these science fiction re-releases are really, really good. They're all gatefold, or a majority of them are. Really nice packaging. Obviously, you get the lyrics and new write-ups from Roy himself as well. So yeah, very worthwhile getting. Okay, this was one that I remember listening to at my friend's house back in the 80s. long time ago. And yeah, I always quite enjoyed this. Not the whole album, but certainly selections from it. This is Marianne Faithfull, and this is A Child's Adventure. So this is, yeah, very, very much later Marianne Faithfull album. This is after Broken English, which was 79, so a comeback album, I suppose. This is 1983. So yeah, it's not as dark, and there aren't the kind of diatribes on this album that there are on the on a Broken English, but there's still you still got those dark elements and sort of um, you know very kind of dark lyrics, talking about the kind of the seedier side of life, let's say, but with this kind of sparkling early 1980s production. But it still kind of works quite well. I loved the opener, Times Square, and the Blue Millionaire. The second track's really great. Falling from Grace, the third track as well. Yeah, it's not a killer Marianne Faithfull album, but the highlights are really worth it. And it was very pretty cheap, so happy to pick it up. It's a reissue, so came on that Island label. But obviously, got all the lyrics printed on the back anyway. So yeah, I mean, not as good as '60s classic Marianne, but not bad at all. Okay, next one is another addition to my Bert Jansch collection, which is growing considerably in the last few months. This is a lovely, lovely record. This is 1977, and this is his album A Rare Conundrum. Really, really excellent record this is. Not saying that Bert Jansch has produced many duffers, because he hasn't, because his quality control's pretty consistent. I mean, obviously, yes, his 60s output is sublime, majority of it. But this is one of a number of great titles that he did in the 70s. And yeah, I can't really pick anything out bad about this. Got Daybreak, 1 to 100, Doctor, 3 a.m. I love. That's a great one. He's helped out by Mike Piggott on violin, and obviously Pick Withers, who's playing tabla on a couple of tracks. So obviously Pick Withers of Dire Straits fame. Who else have we got on here? We have Ralph McTell playing harmonica on one or two tracks. Yeah, and it's excellent. Really, really worth getting. I think this was a label jump for him, so it's on Charisma, that Mad Hatter, small Mad Hatter Charisma label. Yeah, really, really, really glad to get this. Very, very good album all the way through. Nothing to complain about there at all. Okay, this is an album that I've had quite a nice copy of. Pretty common record, really, but I was always on the lookout for the original reissue with the EP. So this is Elvis Costello and Armed Forces. It's definitely up there with one of my favourites of his records, particularly from his early output. So yeah, this is the original UK edition with a free EP inside. Doesn't contain the song What's So Funny About Peace, Love and Understanding, which was on the US version. Obviously, yeah, it comes with the 4 postcards of the band, yada yada yada. I'm sure a lot of you have this or have seen it. The copy I had before this was actually almost like a kind of Dynaflex copy. It was really, really wobbly, thin vinyl. You could almost bend it double. Not that I did, but you could have done. So this is a much more substantial copy. And as I say, I can only assume that it is a first pressing because it comes with the EP. And obviously the pipe sticker on the front as well. But this is great. Yeah, I love the live version of Accidents Will Happen. Really excellent. Just gives the song just a really different feel to the version on the album. Much more emotive, sort of laid back, jazzy almost kind of feel with the piano there. Really, really, really excellent. And then obviously live version of Watching the Detectives as well. Yeah, live at Hollywood High. There we go. I don't go a big bundle on 7 inches really, but nice to snag a complete original copy like that in really, really nice condition. So excellent. Okay, moving on. This is an album that I've been wanting for years. I've never got around to picking it up. I've seen it lots, just never had it in a collection. This is a lovely original UK copy of T-Rex's The Slider from 1972. I love that original EMI label with a kind of colour negative picture of Mark there. It always reminds me of my brother's copy of Children of the Revolution when I was a kid. I can always remember seeing that on the turntable because of the vivid colours. It always brings back memories. Yeah. It comes with the inner as well. So with the lyrics. And this is a lovely, lovely copy. I have to say, I don't know whether it's maybe an age thing, but I am getting a bit more picky about the condition of the records that I'm picking up. So yeah, happy to pay a little bit more to get that. Otherwise, I'm only going to be wanting to probably upgrade them at some stage anyway. So, but yeah, this is a lovely record. Obviously, kicks off with the hit Metal Guru, and obviously Telegram Sam as well. Classics, 2 absolute classics. Yeah, so this was arguably, I guess, the pinnacle of electric kind of T-Rex in their heyday from 1972. So yeah, really, really glad to get that into the collection at long last. Okay, completely different now. This is a jazz artist, classic jazz artist that I really, really love. I do pick up her records from time to time, not that often, and not as regularly as I'd like to. But I saw this. This is a new compilation of hers, like a retrospective that came out. And I'm not a huge fan of compilation albums, but this is, I read the track listing and this is particularly good. So this is the Ultimate Peggy Lee. Okay, and this is a new release, double album. Lovely pictures of Peggy there, and some repro sleeves from some of her biggest hits. Yeah, and I mean, I just there just really isn't a bad song on this. Right, really good retrospective of her career. Fever, of course. Just in Time. Too Close for Comfort. It just gets better and better. You Deserve, Big Spender, He's a Tramp, wonderful, wonderful. Black Coffee, which is probably one of her most revered albums that I've not got around to getting a copy of it yet, but I will soon remedy that. The Folks That Live on the Hill, lovely. And then the absolutely sublime Is That All There Is, the Lieber Stoller composition from 1969. That when Peggy, when Lieber and Stoller approached her to review the song, she just read the lyrics and just said, "Yeah, this is my life. this is my life. I must perform this song," and she did. And what a sublime, what a wonderful job she did of it as well. Just a fantastically emotive, beautiful song in that kind of lovely storybook delivery and vocal that she has, and she just does so well. And when she does it at her best, she just absolutely just sucks you in, and it's just fantastic. I mean, she is sexy. Her voice is just silky smooth, beautiful. But she's a lot more than that as well. The some of the songs and the performances are just transcendent. They just take you places, and I'm very, very happy to go there, to be honest with you. So yeah, wonderful, wonderful stuff. Double album, less than 20 quid. Yeah, all day long. Absolutely all day long. And it sounds fantastic as well. Okay, few more now. As I say, I do apologise if any of these have been shown already. Oh, you nearly got a sneak peek of that one. As I say, there might be one or two duplicates here, so I do apologise. But okay, so this is a great American pop group from 1981. This is their debut, and this is Beauty and the Beat by the Go-Go's. And essentially, I bought this because of the original version of Our Lips Are Sealed, which of course was written with Terry Hall from the Fun Boy 3. And of course, they did their own version on Waiting, which came out and was a single later. The version on this is wonderful, much more upbeat, energetic take on it. But yeah, I mean, that's the great thing about this record, particularly the first side. The energy is just fantastic. They're just absolutely on in full throttle on this. And they're just really going for it with the vocals, and it's wonderful. Really, really excellent. So yeah, Belinda Carlisle et al. So that's the Go-Go's and Beauty and the Beat. Okay, a couple more. This is an artist that, as I'm exploring more and more into the kind of 60s acoustic folk, which has just almost become a bit of an obsession with me, certainly in the last few months. I just keep wanting to buy more and more and discovering more of it. This is an artist that I've been sort of listening to on YouTube on and off for a few years now, but haven't got around to getting anything on vinyl by him. I went into Ben's the other week and I just said, "Have you got anything by Davy Graham?" And he pulled this out. So this is David Graham, Folk Blues and All Points in Between. So this is an excellent retrospective of Davy Graham's mid to late 60s output. So arguably, I guess, when he was at his most influential. And obviously he was hugely influential. I don't think there's any folk or any UK folk guitarist out there that doesn't owe a debt to Davy Graham in some way, shape or form. Yeah, and I mean there's just these are just fantastic. I mean the way he just kind of he just weaves this kind of melting pot of just blues, traditional folk, psychedelia, raga, very odd tunings and so on. I think he was one of the first to really do that. And yeah, I mean, just these last two tracks from '69, Hoochie Coochie Man and Blue Raga, yeah, would just make the price of admission for this worth it on its own, to be perfectly honest. Absolutely fantastic. Love it. I think, yeah, it's on that C for Miles label that do always really good reissues, and yeah, they always sound excellent. And that was pretty inexpensive, so that was really delighted to get that. Okay, and to finish off with, this is an album that I've heard lots and lots over the years. Amazingly, never had a copy of it. So this is Born in Captivity from Roy Harper. And this is a 1984 issue of what is essentially the demo acoustic versions of the album that of the album Work of Heart, which came out a couple of years earlier. So obviously this was recorded prior to that, and was only ever issued. It was never really intended to be issued, but it was issued originally as a after the album came out as a very limited edition, and they just kind of disappeared. There wasn't enough. There was much more demand than obviously than were available. But it was just kind of so yeah. It just Roy decided it was it should be reissued, and it was. And to be honest, in my opinion, it's a much better record than Work of Heart. Basically because it's just simply just Roy and the guitar. So it's just you know the emotion comes through. You hear the lyrics really clearly. There's no sort of glitzy 80s production to sort of get in the way. It's just pure Roy, and for me that's when really Roy kind of really hits the spot for me, and resonates. Yeah, I mean, there really isn't a bad track on this. You got Stan, about his love of QPR and going to the football matches back in the 70s and 80s. Drawn to the Flames, I'm a Child. Side 2, the wonderful early version of Elizabeth that he also re-recorded later for the Whatever Happened to Jugular album. And then, of course, the epic rest of Side 2, which is the Work of Heart suite itself, which is just wonderful. Again, it's that Roy just like stream of consciousness, but just really getting into his lyrics, getting into the feel, changing it up. No One Ever Gets Out Alive starts off really big and bold, and then just runs through Two Lovers in the Moon, We Are the People, who he then reprises, and then No One Ever Gets Out Alive, just the finale, just to round it off. Really excellent. excellent record, and definitely recommend it to anyone who wants to hear a great Roy Harper album. Yeah, heartily recommend that one. But then I am rather biased, so there you go. Okay, 25 minutes, we're done. Thank you again for if you've lasted through this video again. Yeah, as I say, the weekend's coming up soon. Hope everybody's gonna have a great one. Hopefully weather might stay okay as well, and might be able to capture that last bit of British summertime before autumn really kicks in for sure. Although we're kind of there now, really, aren't we? So there you go. Don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to stop talking now, VC, and I'm going to let you go. So thank you for those. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to. Whatever you want to do. Even if you don't, if you just stop by and watch me and leave a comment, that'd be great. But I hope you're all doing really well, and hopefully upload another video very soon. Cheers, guys. Take care as always. All the best. Bye bye.